The day Monica regained her sight was also the first day of her acting career. We had just arrived at the talent entertainment agency when Monica and I bumped into her idol in the hallway. Naturally, I offered to take a photo for them. "Wait, no, you should squat down a little for the angle," she said, linking arms with him and striking a pose. I snapped a few shots. Lighting's off. Let's move to the other side and try again. Monica casually took his hand, and the two of them formed a heart shape with their fingers. "Can I kiss you?" she asked sweetly. That question wasn't meant for me, it was for her idol. A sharp sting twisted in my chest. I hoped he'd turn her down, but instead, he blushed and gave a small nod. Just as Monica leaned in and kissed his cheek, I pressed the shutter. Maybe it was the way my face soured, but something in the air shifted. Sensing it, Monica instantly switched to her usual cutesy charm. I'm older than she is, and I've always spoiled her out of habit. But today, she was pushing it. "Are you mad at me, Luca Rockefeller?" she asked, tugging gently at my hand. I didn't say a word. "How about I kiss you back? 100 times, okay?" she whispered, her voice soft as velvet. The way her wide, glistening eyes locked onto mine, it almost melted my heart. I pulled her into a deep, hard kiss. "From now on, you don't get to kiss anyone else, got it, Monica?" "Got it. Only you," she replied with a bright smile. That was always her way, surrendering the moment she upset me, only to do it again the next time. I let out a long sigh. We waited in the conference room for a good while before Jessica, the president of Stellar Path Talent Agency, finally made her grand entrance. Monica immediately stood up to greet her with respectful enthusiasm. "Here's the deal, Monica," Jessica said, barely glancing in my direction. "Next month, the agency is signing you up for a dating reality show. Can you play along with the single girl persona for publicity?" "Absolutely," Monica answered without missing a beat. "And just so you're clear, nothing over the top, but the show's still got the usual stuff. Flirting, hugging, maybe a little cuddling here and there, just like shooting a rom-com. That okay with you?" "No problem at all." Was this some kind of rapid-fire Q&A game? I took a slow sip of water, trying to tamp down the frustration rising in my chest. Jessica gave a knowing little smirk. "Maybe you should ask your boyfriend how he feels about it." "He's not my boyfriend." "Monica." She shot me a look, raised eyebrows, a subtle shake of her head. "Don't say anything," it said. I opened my mouth anyway. But before I could get a word out, she grabbed my arm and pulled me out of the room. "Luca Rockefeller," she said, her voice low and fierce, "if it hadn't been for the car accident that left me blind, I wouldn't have had to wait until I was 25 to finally get signed. Stellar Path Talent Agency has always been my dream. You, of all people, should understand that. You're my husband." I fell silent. Every time she brought it up, I had no words to fight back. Because I was the one behind the wheel that day. It's all just for the cameras. If we start taking it seriously, we're already losing the game. Besides, with that many people around, what do you think would even happen? Seeing my expression soften, Monica seized the moment. She planted a quick kiss on my lips, then grabbed my hand and pulled me back into the room. "My brother says it's fine," she said brightly. "Your brother?" Jessica gave me a long, pointed look, savoring every syllable of that word. "Yeah," Monica replied without missing a beat. "My brother." "Well, here's the thing," Jessica said, leaning back in her chair. "Our company doesn't force artists to go to dinner parties or cocktail events. But you don't have any connections in this industry, and if you're smart, you'll show up to every dinner you're invited to. How far you go from here? That's up to how hard you're willing to fight for it." She closed the folder and slid the contract toward us. "Take a good look. If everything checks out, you can sign." I turned to Monica, hesitant. "Stellar Path Talent Agency, not a bad agency, but from what we've heard, they don't seem to offer much to new talent. Maybe we should check out a few more companies before locking this in?" "If we wait any longer, I'll be too old for this," Monica said flatly. If it weren't for Derek pulling some strings, Stellar Path Talent Agency wouldn't have even considered me today. Before I could say anything else, she scribbled her name across the bottom of the contract. Monica had the looks, the charm, and a gift for knowing exactly what to say. Within just 2 months, her agency-run social media accounts had pulled in over 300,000 followers. Then came the day her silk dress for a live stream got ruined, by my mom. She exploded. My mother stood there silently, clearly shaken by Monica's outburst, unable to say a word. She didn't mean to. If the dress is ruined, we'll just buy another one, I said quickly, trying to calm things down. Then I turned to my mom. It's okay, Mom. Monica's just in a bad mood today. I'd spent 5 years trying to keep peace between the two of them. That dress was a limited edition. How are you going to buy another one? Monica snapped. There's gotta be a way. I'll check online, see if we can find it, I said, taking the dress from her. Luca Rockefeller, she said sharply, that dress was a gift from one of my fans who brought it back from Italy. Do you know how much it sells for online? $580,000. Can we afford that? Don't forget, I'm the breadwinner now. Your $8,000 a month paycheck doesn't cover anything. The words tumbled out before she realized how cruel they sounded. Mom, why don't you go rest in your room for a bit? Luca Rockefeller, don't fight because of me. It's my fault, my mother said softly, still trying to smooth things over. Judging by the look on her face, Monica must have snapped at her much harder before I got home. Her eyes were red and brimming with tears. I gave her a reassuring nod. Once she disappeared into the bedroom, I turned to Monica. What did it cost you to get such an expensive gift from a fan? Monica's expression deflated instantly. He just asked for my contact info, that's all. We didn't even talk. She opened her phone and showed me the empty message thread. Right. First he gets your contact info, then what's next? Dinner invitations? Hotel rooms? Her face went pale. You don't have to be so disgusting about it. Not every guy's like that. Her tone stung, because I knew exactly what she meant. We'd started out the same way. Our first night together had been in a hotel, after one too many drinks. I'd fallen for her so hard, so fast. Monica, I give you everything I make. I've never once held back when it came to you. I hope this is the first and last time I ever hear words like that from you. She pouted in silence, sulking. And you're going to apologize to my mother. I won't. For 5 years, my mom and I had treated her like family, spoiling her like a child. And for 5 years, she acted like one. I still remembered how she'd once tried to lash out physically at my mom during those early days after her vision loss. Later that night, after she ended her live stream, she came crawling back to me with that familiar pitiful look. I'm sorry, Luca. I said nothing. Let me make it up to you, okay, she whispered, sliding under the covers in her usual seductive way, a move that had worked every time. But this time, I gently pulled her out. Monica, I said softly but firmly, even if you can't stand my mom, she raised me. She's my family. Can't you just treat her a little better, for my sake? She nodded, then suddenly burst into tears. I handed her a tissue. And as I watched her cry, a heavy weariness settled deep in my chest. This relationship was draining me, bit by bit. I got up, grabbed my phone, and called my buddy Derek. Let's get a drink. You? The guy who tucks his wife into bed every night? What's gotten into you? I could barely hear him over the music and noise, he was probably at some club. I just need to talk. About Monica. Monica? Damn. Come to Nightfall Bar. We'll talk there. Have you seen those commercials Monica's been filming lately? Derek asked, swirling his drink. I have. Why? I replied, already sensing something wasn't right. She's been poaching other people's roles, he said, lowering his voice. Rumor has it that someone tried to leak a photo of Monica feeding the director grapes mouth to mouth. The rumor spread by word of mouth. The agency stopped it before it went public. He handed me his phone. I swiped through the photos, each one like a punch to the gut. I forced myself to keep calm, swallowing the fury boiling inside me. Was this something the agency asked her to do? I wanted to believe there was a good reason, any excuse that could clear her name. Not a chance, Derek said flatly. Stellar Path Talent Agency doesn't push that kind of crap on their actors. And look closer, Monica's smiling like she's having the time of her life. Just then, my phone buzzed. You know I'm afraid of the dark. Why didn't you tell me you were going out tonight? Monica's voice on the line sounded more upset than mine. I took a breath to steady myself. I'll be home soon. Before hanging up, I asked the one thing I couldn't hold back. Monica, did you really feed grapes to the director? Mouth to mouth. There was a beat of silence on her end. Then she let out a nervous laugh. It was just camera angles, a fake out for the shot. People love drama. Every actor gets wrapped up in gossip. You're still lying. We've been married 5 years. You've known me for 6. You really don't trust me, she said, staring at me in disbelief, as if my doubt was more outrageous than her actions. I let out a bitter laugh. I know you too well, Monica. That's exactly the problem. You've never seen me as anything but your backup plan. Her expression shifted. You want to talk about trust? The day you got into that car accident, I was driving. Because I'd just seen the message you sent your ex, booking a hotel room together. I looked away from the road for 1 second and wrecked us. Her face froze. If you hadn't gone blind, you'd have left me back then. Tell me I'm wrong. For a moment, the room went quiet. Time itself seemed to hold its breath. I searched her face for even a flicker of guilt. Nothing. Just rage. Then came the slap. You're disgusting, Luca. How dare you twist everything like that? It was past midnight when she started throwing her things into a suitcase, crying as she packed. The noise woke my mom. Monica, sweetheart, don't cry. Luca, what's going on? She asked, rushing to the door to stop her. Let her go, I said coldly. But Monica shoved past her hard, nearly knocking her down. Thank God Mom kept her balance. And that was the woman I'd loved and protected for 6 years, like she was fragile glass in the palm of my hand. Sure enough, early the next morning, my phone lit up with a call from Monica's mother. And the first thing she did, was tear into me. Luca. Monica came home last night in tears, and you didn't even bother to call? What kind of husband are you? I could practically see her, arms crossed, lips pursed, scolding me with that familiar, sharp-tongued tone. I stayed quiet for a moment, then finally asked, Is Monica okay? She cried all night, what do you think? You better get over here, apologize, and bring her home. Oh, and by the way, her father's been eyeing a new watch. I'll send you the link, you pay directly. I paused for a beat before answering. I'm fine paying for the watch. But I'm not apologizing. If you really care about her, maybe just send Monica back home. Don't forget, she snapped, you were the one who insisted on marrying our Monica in the first place. Sometimes I wonder if that car accident was really an accident at all. There it was again. Every time they brought up the crash, it came with a demand, this time, a forced apology in exchange for Monica's return. Eventually, I caved. I'll come by after breakfast to pick her up. And bring some fruit or something, she added sharply. You're not made of money, but at least show some thoughtfulness. That's the least you can do. It was always about what they could squeeze out of me. I brought a few bags of gifts when I went over to Monica's parents' house. Her mother barely looked at me, didn't even bother to fake a smile. You may not be rich, Luca, but you better treat my daughter right. Not every woman's as naive as Monica, so devoted to a man with nothing to offer. Luca, get on your knees and apologize to Monica, her father barked from across the room. I didn't move. I turned to Monica instead. Are you coming home with me or not? Every time we fought, Monica would run straight back to her parents' house. And every time, her father would put on a stern face and try to put me in my place like I was some reckless teenager. But this time I'd had enough. 5 years. 5 years of bending over backward, for what? For a woman who nearly cheated on me? In the end, I didn't apologize. It was Monica who finally stepped in, asking them to let it go. For the first time ever, she admitted she might have been partly at fault. That was a first. News about the dating show never came. Eventually, we found out, Monica had been replaced. Monica, I said gently, trying to sound calm, maybe this industry just isn't right for us. I know someone who can help terminate your contract. Let's walk away from all this. There are other jobs out there. No, she snapped, tears filling her eyes. I want to be famous. Why should people with less talent than me get better lives? It's not fair. I won't settle for this. Luca, you'll still support me, won't you? Her voice cracked with desperation. I sighed deeply. Nothing I said would change her mind. So I tried to be around more, made a point to stop by after work, keep her company, protect her from whatever came next. But it still wasn't enough. One afternoon during my lunch break, I called her. Hey, have you eaten yet? What did Mom make today? Steak and pasta, she said brightly. Your mom's really a great cook, I finished everything. I froze. Monica had never been good at lying. If she didn't criticize my mother's cooking to her face, that alone would have been a miracle. But praise? That wasn't her. I let out a dry laugh. That's great. Are you heading to the agency later? Nope, not today. I finally get to relax at home a bit. I'm going to. I stopped mid-sentence. In the background, I heard a man's voice. He stopped speaking the moment he realized I was on the call. There's something I need to deal with here, Monica said hurriedly. I'll talk to you later, okay? Before I could get another word out, she hung up. Something in me snapped. With my heart sinking, I opened the location sharing app on my iPhone, something we'd set up a while ago and never thought to turn off. She wasn't home. She was at a cafe just a few blocks away. I grabbed my keys and headed straight there. And sure enough, there she was, sitting at a cozy little cafe, laughing over coffee with a middle-aged man, like they didn't have a care in the world. Monica. What a coincidence, I said as I walked up to their table, keeping my voice even. The man looked up, politely rising to his feet. And you are? We both turned to Monica, waiting for her to make the introduction. Her expression shifted instantly, like she'd been caught in the act. This is my husband, she said reluctantly. And this is Jake, a film producer. Jake raised an eyebrow and let out a low chuckle, though there was no warmth in it. Funny, when your mom invited me to meet you, she didn't mention you were married. Then he turned to Monica. I'll let you two talk. I've got another meeting anyway. He gave her a nod, then walked off. Monica tried to follow after him, but I reached out and stopped her. So I'm not even dead yet, and your mother's already out scouting for my replacement? I said quietly, bitterness seeping into every word. What are you talking about? She snapped, yanking her arm out of my grasp. Monica, I've given you everything I had. If there was even an ounce of love left in your heart for me, you wouldn't keep doing this, flirting with other men, lying to my face, making me feel like a fool over and over again. She folded her arms defensively. Luca, I told you, he's a producer. We were discussing a potential role for my next project. That's it. You're reading too much into it. Then why lie and say you were home? Why pretend you were having lunch with my mom? And why did he bolt the second I showed up? She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I've spent 6 years convincing myself you loved me, I said, voice low and steady. But I can't lie to myself anymore. I love you, Monica said desperately. It's because I love you that I'm trying so hard to give us a better life. Luca, there's nothing going on between me and him. My eyes burned. Nothing yet, because I caught you in time. Monica, I make $8,000 a month. I know that's not enough for the life you want. If you want a divorce, I won't stop you this time. I don't want that, she sobbed. Luca, I don't want to lose you. I didn't answer. I just turned and walked away, got into my car, and drove off. That night, I moved into the guest bedroom. She knocked on the door a few times, but I didn't open it. The silence between us stretched long and heavy. The next morning, I found her curled up outside the door. She'd spent the whole night on the hallway floor. Luca, you're up, she said softly, voice hoarse. Let me make you some breakfast, okay? There was a humility in her tone I'd never heard before, so unfamiliar it felt almost surreal. But I couldn't let myself fall for it again. No thanks, I said coldly, brushing past her. By noon, her parents showed up at the house. I assumed Monica had gone crying to them again, and now they were here to play judge and jury. But surprisingly, it wasn't about the fight. It was about money. Well, that was better than another round of lectures. I gave a bitter smile. Luca, her father said, settling onto the couch like he owned the place. That watch you bought me last time? A few of my old friends saw it and liked it. I sent you the payment links for a few more. You didn't pay, why's that? Sir, I started, unsure how to explain. But Monica cut me off before I could finish. Dad, just tell your friends to get something else. That watch costs Luca over a month's salary. We can't afford to gift those. Her father's expression darkened. Does Luca not have any savings at all? His voice was sharp now, clearly offended. No, Monica said firmly. I wasn't asking you, her father snapped. I asked Luca. Say something. I looked him in the eye. From now on, I won't be paying for anyone else's expenses. Well, aren't you something, he spat, turning on both of us. And you, stupid girl, always siding with him. Dad, stop it. Monica shouted. Do you know how hard Luca works? You can't just waltz in here asking for thousands, tens of thousands, like it's nothing. Have you lost your damn mind? I'm your father, he roared. And you, Luca, tell me, with your hand on your heart, did you ever give my daughter a big house? A luxury car? She was just a kid when she gave her life to you. And what did she get in return? Blindness for 5 years. You used her up, and now you're tired of her? You want to wash your hands clean and walk away? I didn't respond. I just stood there, stone-faced. That's when Monica's mother stepped in, her voice shrill and cracking with emotion. She jabbed her finger into my shoulder as she screamed, Monica was supposed to be a star. Look at what you've done to her. She didn't even go to college because of you. You seduced her and now you're dumping her like trash. You'll get what's coming to you, you heartless bastard. I rubbed my forehead, trying to keep it together, but the pressure kept building. I turned to leave. Before I could take a step, Monica's mother grabbed my arm and dropped to the floor, wailing like a soap opera actress. Everyone, come look. This so-called good man just hit me. He hit his mother-in-law. There's no justice left in the world. You've got it all wrong. I snapped. It was me who passed the audition at the agency, not Monica. And she didn't skip college for me, she didn't get in because she didn't make the cut. And another thing, I cut in, my voice sharp now, no longer holding back. When she was blind, I was the one washing her underwear. For 5 years. Monica never lifted a finger, meals served to her, clothes folded and handed to her. She couldn't even make a damn cup of instant noodles. I stepped forward, eyes locked on her parents. And Jake? He didn't just show up, he was your introduction, wasn't he? Trying to push Monica into cheating? Say one more word, just one more, and I swear, you'll never see another dime from me. Get out. You think you can talk to us like that? Monica's father roared. And then, without hesitation, he swung a punch at me, left hand clenched tight with fury. I blocked his first punch, but his right fist came flying just a second later. Before I could react, Monica shoved me aside and took the hit squarely on her forehead. Jesus, your fist hit Monica, her mother gasped, rushing to help her up. 2 useless brats, her father growled, still fuming as he stormed toward the door. Monica managed to calm him down enough to get him out of the house. But not before they grabbed one of the expensive coral groupers from the kitchen freezer on their way out. Luca, I'm so sorry, Monica said, ignoring the swelling already forming on her forehead. She dropped to her knees, sobbing so hard it felt like the walls would crack under the weight of it. Watching the woman I'd loved and protected for 6 years kneel in front of me, crying like a child, begging for forgiveness, it would have been impossible not to feel something. I sighed and shook my head. A few minutes later, I gently pulled her up from the floor and pressed a cold pack against her forehead. I need us to lay down some ground rules, I said, my tone quiet but firm. When you go out, you tell me. No more lies. And absolutely no physical contact with other men. None. She nodded, eyes brimming with tears. And in that moment, I couldn't hold back anymore. I wrapped my arms around her and held her close, as if we could somehow rewind everything with that one embrace. After that, things seemed to shift. Whatever had almost torn us apart only pulled us closer. We started grocery shopping together, cooking meals side by side. In bed, Monica became more affectionate, more attentive, going out of her way to please me. For a while, it felt like we'd hit the reset button. Until one afternoon, I stopped by Derek's office to grab lunch with him. But the moment I walked in, he pulled me aside, urgency written all over his face. Luca, he said, lowering his voice. Do you have any idea what Monica's actually been doing lately? I nodded. She told me she landed a small TV drama. Said it's low budget, nothing major, just a couple of scenes with the male lead. 2 hand-holding shots, that's all. Derek's expression hardened. Come with me, he said. And then he led me through a hallway into a closed, off-the-record filming set, one the public wasn't supposed to know existed. And there it was, right in front of me. I watched with my own eyes as my wife, half-dressed, writhed in bed with an aging male actor, filming a sex scene. Sure, they had protective garments underneath, but it didn't matter, his obvious physical reaction was seared into my vision, and it burned like acid. My fists clenched involuntarily. Derek noticed it immediately and grabbed my arms. Luca, breathe. Stay calm, don't do anything stupid. But it was too late. I tore free from him with a roar and charged onto the set. The next second, I was throwing punches, fists slamming into the actor's face as rage exploded out of me. "Luca, stop. You'll kill him." Monica screamed, panicked, rushing toward us. A few minutes later, the actor's bodyguards stormed in and finally managed to pull us apart. I stood there, chest heaving, my shirt soaked in sweat and fury, staring at Monica like I didn't even recognize her anymore. My voice shook with rage as I barked, "Is fame worth that much to you? Are you really willing to sacrifice everything, your dignity, our marriage, for it?" "No, Luca, it's just a scene." "That's all it is," she cried. "A scene?" I laughed bitterly. If I'd shown up 5 minutes later, would it still be just a scene? Or would you two be making it real? Derek ran off to apologize to the director. The entire set was thrown into chaos, the production crew calling for a 30-minute break to regroup. "Monica," I said, my voice hard and final, "we're done. Do you hear me? We're done." Her agent rushed over, trying to defuse the situation. I turned on him and snapped, pointing angrily. "Didn't you say your new agent was a woman? Was that another lie?" "I'm sorry, Luca," Monica sobbed. "Just let me finish the scene and I'll explain everything. Please, just go home. We'll talk later." She was in tears again, begging like she had so many times before. The few people left on set stood silently in the background, watching it all unfold like a live soap opera. I looked at her, this woman I had once loved so deeply, and finally let the truth pour out. "Next month's your birthday. I ordered the Mercedes you've always wanted, and I was about to close on a $10 million home in the city, just for you. Everything was set. I was supposed to sign the contracts tomorrow." Monica looked up, tears streaking down her face, her voice trembling. What did you say?" The secret I'd buried deep for 4 long years was finally breaking free. "Monica," I said, my voice calm but cold, "for years, you and your parents have mocked me, called me a nobody, a broke loser. And I stayed silent. I let it slide. But today, you need to hear the truth." She froze, eyes wide. "I don't wake up early and come home late because I'm some paper-pushing office clerk earning $8,000 a month. I'm the CEO of Rockefeller Holdings. That's right, Luca Rockefeller, owner and president of the very company you've probably never even bothered to Google." Monica's hand flew to her mouth in shock. No way. That's just someone with the same name. It has to be." I let out a bitter laugh. "Then look it up. Go online. Check the registered legal owner of the company. See whose name is listed under founder and primary shareholder. It's my mother's name." Her hands trembled so badly she could barely hold her phone. She fumbled through a search and found exactly what I told her she would. "And just so you know," I added with a smile that held no warmth, "when we divorce, you won't walk away with a cent. Because legally, I only make $8,000 a month. That's all that shows on paper." I didn't wait for her response. I turned and walked out of the Stellar Path talent agency without looking back. That night, I told my mother everything. We packed a few essentials and left the house behind. For now, we checked into a quiet hotel. Peace. Finally. But peace didn't last long. A few days later, as I walked through the lobby of my office building, I saw her. Monica. She looked like a ghost of herself, hair tousled, eyes red, tears clinging to her lashes like petals after a storm. "Luca. I miss you," she whispered, voice trembling. My assistant Alice glanced at me, visibly uncomfortable. "Mr. Rockefeller, is everything all right? Who is this?" I looked Monica dead in the eyes. "My wife," I said flatly. "Monica." Alice nodded politely. "Mrs. Rockefeller, hello. Sir, would you like me to review tomorrow's schedule with you later instead?" "Go ahead and clock out for the day," I said without looking at her. Alice left quickly, grateful to escape the awkward tension. Monica stepped closer, her voice soft and pleading. "Luca, you really are the head of Rockefeller Holdings. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I was wrong. Please, let's just go home. Let's start over." She reached for my hand, gently trying to hold it, as if the past could be erased with one desperate touch. I pulled away. "Monica," I said calmly, "I've already handed everything related to the divorce over to my attorney. You'll be hearing from them soon. There's no need for us to see each other again." The moment she heard the word divorce, Monica broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. Luca, no, I don't want a divorce. I exhaled slowly, trying to keep my composure. This wasn't the place for a scene, especially not in the company lobby. I hope this is the last time we ever meet, I said quietly, reaching into my pocket and handing her a handkerchief. Stop crying. Her tear-streaked face looked up at me, hopeful. You still care, right? You wouldn't offer me a handkerchief if you didn't care. Please, Luca, don't leave me. I swear I'll change. I'll do better. I'd hand a tissue to any woman who cried in front of me, I replied coolly. Don't read into it. When you're done crying, just go home. And with that, I turned and walked away, ignoring her pleas behind me. The next day, her parents showed up at my office. They stormed right up to the reception desk. We're the in-laws of your CEO, her father barked. You dare try to stop us? They didn't have the guts to approach me directly, so they cornered my assistant, Alice. By the time I got out of my meeting, they were already waiting in my office. Mr. Rockefeller, Luca, they greeted me, smiling far too politely. Hearing them speak my name with such sugar-coated civility was almost laughable. What brings you here so suddenly? I asked, my voice even. Monica's mother looked around the office with wide eyes, trying to hide her awe. So, all of this is yours? You could say that, I replied. She laughed awkwardly, then launched into her speech. Luca, we came today to apologize on Monica's behalf. She was immature, didn't know how to appreciate what she had. A husband like you? That's one in a million. She was just too young and spoiled by us, that's all. We take responsibility. I stayed silent. Seeing I wasn't buying it, she pushed harder. She's been crying non-stop these days. Can't even hold it together on set, got chewed out by the director. She's really sorry, Luca. Can't you forgive her, just this once? For the sake of her parents coming all this way? Are you done? I asked, rising from my seat. Monica's father's expression turned dark. What the hell does that mean? He'd been holding back since the moment he walked in, and now it was boiling over. These were the same people who had once looked down on me like I was beneath them, now begging for my forgiveness. What a twist. I mean, I said calmly, if you're done talking, you can leave. I've got meetings to get to. Monica's father slammed his fist on the desk. Luca, you've got some nerve. Think you can disrespect me like this? You're bullying my daughter. Then he rolled up his sleeves like he was ready to throw a punch. I looked her father dead in the eye, each word deliberate and sharp. I'm standing right here. Go ahead, take a swing. But the moment you do, I promise you'll end up in jail. Monica's mother, thankfully, had a bit more sense. She put a hand on her husband's arm and hissed, "What is wrong with you? Why is your first reaction always violence? We're family, you can't just go around trying to hit people." After scolding him, she turned back to me with a plastic smile. Well then, Luca, we won't keep you any longer. We'll just wait for you at home. And with that, she dragged her husband out of my office. As soon as the door closed behind them, I turned to Alice. If any of those three show up at this office again, and you let them through, you're done here. Understood? She nodded quickly. Monica refused to sign the divorce papers. I didn't care. Let her stall all she wanted. After 2 years of legal separation, it would be final anyway, whether she liked it or not. But when she realized she couldn't get to me, Monica turned to my mother. I came home one evening to find someone kneeling in the middle of the living room floor. It was Monica. Please, Mom. I'm begging you, she sobbed. Talk to Luca for me. I don't know what else to do. I'll even bow down to you, please, I was wrong before, but I'll treat you like my own mother from now on. Monica, get up, I said flatly, walking in. Don't drag my mom into this. She shouldn't have to worry about our problems. She didn't move. I haven't been eating, haven't slept in days, she cried. All I can think about is our 6 years together. Luca, 6 years. Can you really just walk away from that? Tell me honestly, if you don't love me anymore, I'll leave. Stop this, Monica, I said, tired of the theatrics. You won't say it, she shot back, tears streaming down her face. You won't say it because you still love me. You do. So why are you still insisting on divorcing me? I let out a bitter laugh. You want the truth? Fine. Yes, I still love you. I do. But love isn't enough, not after everything you've done. You think love means I should keep living like a dog just to stay with you? Her face twisted in desperation. I told you I'd change. What else do you want from me? Do you want me to die just to prove I mean it? That's when my mother finally spoke. Luca. I turned to her, thinking she was going to step in and try to mediate, like she always had. But she raised a hand, silencing me. Luca, take Monica outside to talk. This is between the two of you. I'm not getting involved. Monica looked stunned. Mom, why aren't you helping me? You've always told him to work things out with me, why not now? Panic flickered in her voice. Monica, my mother said coldly, standing tall in the living room, the only reason I let you in the house was out of respect, for my son. I didn't want to humiliate you in front of others. When you used to disrespect me, I let it go. You were the woman my son loved, I swallowed every insult for his sake. Her voice sharpened, every word slicing through the air. But now you've crossed the line. You lied to him. You betrayed him. The fact that I didn't throw you out the moment you walked through that door, that was the last shred of kindness I had left for you. Mom, please, it's not what you think, I can. Get out. Without hesitation, she grabbed the broom leaning against the corner wall and raised it. I stood there in stunned silence as Monica stumbled backward, retreating out the door. Only then did I truly see it, how much my mother had endured for me all those years. She wasn't weak. She was patient. But when someone tried to hurt her son, she didn't hesitate to strike back. She had protected me more fiercely than I ever realized. A few days passed, just enough time for things to quiet down, or so I thought. Then the next storm hit. Monica's parents appeared on a local TV show. Or rather, they had reached out to the producers themselves, eager to tell their side of the story. Monica's father, in particular, painted himself as the victim while going on a full-blown smear campaign against me. He accused me, CEO of Rockefeller Holdings, of toying with his daughter's emotions, of living a double life, of having affairs with multiple women. He didn't stop there. He brought photos, videos, edited clips, carefully staged narratives. The internet exploded. Within hours, headlines flooded social media, hashtags surged, and public opinion tilted fast. People were ready to tear me apart before I even had a chance to defend myself. But before I could speak up, Monica did. She crashed the live broadcast, stormed right into the studio mid-show. My father is a liar, she shouted into the cameras, trembling but unflinching. He's lying to all of you. When the host tried to intervene, Monica stood her ground and faced the camera head-on. Mr. Rockefeller never crossed the line during our marriage. He always respected boundaries. He was never unfaithful, not once. I can testify to that. The studio fell into stunned silence. And then chaos broke out again, only this time, in the most horrifying way. Furious that Monica had humiliated him on air, her father snapped. In front of the entire live audience, he turned and punched his own daughter, so hard she collapsed to the floor. Gasps echoed through the studio. The host froze, the cameras kept rolling, and the entire country watched in shock. I raised an ungrateful daughter. I'll beat the truth back into you, he shouted, lunging toward her again. Security rushed in to intervene as Monica cowered on the floor, shaking in fear. The public's sympathy poured in, but not mine. I'd seen this act before. I knew her better than anyone. That wasn't courage, it was strategy. Another ploy to manipulate me into coming back. She'd always been willing to weaponize pity if it served her purpose. In the days that followed, her parents showed up at my office again, demanding money. The first few times, I told my assistant to turn them away. The next time, I called the police. Monica disappeared from the spotlight. I assumed she'd finally given up. Until one day, my phone rang. It was her. I've thought it through, she said softly. No matter what I do, you're never coming back to me. Bring the divorce papers. I'll sign. I'll have my assistant deliver them, I replied flatly. Luca, is that it? After everything, you can't even look me in the eye one last time? Are you really going to end this without saying goodbye? I paused. For a long time. Then finally said, I'll come by after work. Around 7:30. Okay, she whispered. When I arrived at her place, she looked thinner. Fragile. She leaned against the wall just to steady herself. It was clear she hadn't been doing well. But what surprised me most was the table behind her, a full spread of food, neatly arranged, fragrant and steaming. That was a first. I handed her the divorce papers. If everything looks right, sign here. She looked at the envelope in her hand, then glanced up at me. You're already here, would it kill you to sit down and have dinner with me first? Just one meal. I'll sign right after. I frowned. Monica, don't push your luck. Fine, she said, lips trembling. At least have some water, then. Sit for a second, I'll get a pen. She led me to the living room, gesturing toward the glass of water on the coffee table. It hadn't been touched. When I didn't reach for it, she let out a bitter laugh. You won't even drink the water I poured. That's how much you hate me now. She turned her face away, tears beginning to fall again. I picked up the glass and drank it all in one long gulp. Happy now? Stop crying. You betrayed this marriage, not me, Monica. I'm sorry, she whispered. Then sign. Okay, let me wash my face first, she said quietly, turning toward the bathroom. Moments later, through a groggy haze, I sensed Monica leaning over me, moving oddly. I tried to push her away, but darkness overtook me again. When I finally woke up the next morning, I was sprawled on Monica's couch, fully clothed. Was last night just a dream? You must have been really stressed, Monica teased. I told you to wait a minute, and you passed right out. Anyway, here's what you've been dreaming about. She handed me the signed divorce papers. My head still felt foggy, so I called my assistant to pick me up and drive me home. After all that struggle, Monica and I had finally parted ways. A strange mix of relief and melancholy washed over me. My previous life had revolved entirely around Monica, exhausting myself constantly trying to please her family. Now, with all that extra time, besides focusing on work, I'd managed to take my mom traveling to several different countries. Even my mom seemed happier since Monica had left our lives. Before, it felt like we both had been living under Monica's thumb, humble and cautious. By a twist of fate, I met someone new the following year, a woman named Jessica, who coincidentally had been Monica's boss at Stellar Path Talent Agency. At first, we stuck strictly to business conversations, but one evening, a casual meeting at home paired with a little wine led naturally into something more. As for Monica, Stellar Path Talent Agency had pretty much given up on her, or, in industry terms, she'd been shelved indefinitely. She'd vanished from the spotlight, refusing job offers for months. Jessica once cautiously asked me, the company's basically dropped her now. You don't want to put in a word for her? I shook my head. Monica isn't a child anymore. She's responsible for her own choices. If she doesn't care about her career, there's nothing anyone else can do. On the night I planned to propose to Jessica, Monica suddenly reappeared. After picking up the ring from the jewelry store, I ran into Monica standing quietly outside, holding a toddler who looked about 2 or 3 years old. Luca, she called softly. Turning around in confusion, I met her eyes. What are you doing here? It's been a long time, she said gently. I came specifically to find you. Find me? She glanced down at the child in her arms. Ethan, say hi to Daddy. Only then did I shift my attention to the little boy. My voice hardened. What's that supposed to mean? He's your son, Luca. That night you gave me the divorce papers, you and we. I laughed bitterly, suddenly realizing. You drugged me, Monica, didn't you? Planning to blackmail me? Dream on, I won't admit anything. No wonder she'd vanished for so long without a word. Now everything made sense. Furious, I kicked over a nearby trash can, scattering garbage across the pavement. After calming myself down, I knew I had to tell Jessica. I struggled to find the right words, rehearsing again and again. What's wrong? She asked, noticing my discomfort. Jessica, I began cautiously, this morning Monica showed up with a child she claims is mine. 3 years ago, the night I brought her the divorce papers, she drugged me. All this time, I thought it had just been a dream, but clearly, it wasn't. Jessica remained silent for a long moment, then finally asked softly, so, are you planning to bring the child home? I pressed my fingers against my temples, distressed. If he really is mine, I want custody. I can't stand the thought of my own child being raised by someone like Monica. She sighed softly, nodding. Yeah. Honestly, the kid would be better off with you than with her. I'm sorry, Jessica. Whatever you decide, I'll respect it completely. Her eyes searched mine, hesitant yet hopeful. Do you still love me? I love you, I said firmly. My desire to marry you hasn't changed, not even after learning about the child. But I understand if this makes you reconsider. Jessica reached out, gently cupping my face. Thank you. I love you too, Luca. And because I do, I have to think carefully, not only about us, but whether I can be a good stepmother. Can you give me some time? I nodded, pulling her into a tight embrace. After a few minutes, reluctantly, I let her go. Take all the time you need. Even after all these years, Monica was still as selfish as ever, I thought bitterly. We sat facing each other in a quiet corner of the cafe. What do you want, Monica? Luca, I just want you back. Can't we live together happily as a family, just you, me, and Ethan? Have you lost your mind? I laughed incredulously. We were finished years ago. If I weren't who I am today, would you have chased after me relentlessly for 4 years? Listen, you better state your terms clearly while I still have patience. If we go to court over custody, you don't stand a chance. You're heartless, Luca, she hissed. I want $100 million. $100 million? I scoffed. Do you think I'm a bank? I'll give you 10 million, and that's to make sure you and your family vanish from my life forever. Take it or leave it, Monica. Next time you approach me, you won't see a single cent. Think carefully before answering. She glared at me furiously before finally snapping, fine. And another thing, this 10 million will be transferred to you strictly as a loan. If I ever see your face again, I'm coming after every cent. I gave up everything for you and this child. Even my parents turned their backs on me, and you offer me 10 million? You're unbelievably cruel. Monica, I said coldly, rising to leave, anyone can call me cruel, but not you. I've already been far kinder than you deserve. I tossed a few $100 bills onto the table and walked out without looking back. Ethan came home with me. My mom adored him instantly, spending hours every day holding him and spoiling him rotten. Christmas arrived, and to my surprise, so did Jessica. The moment she stepped through the doorway, she threw her arms around me. But Ethan stood right behind me, staring curiously with his round, innocent eyes. Realizing we weren't alone, Jessica blushed slightly and quickly pulled away. You must be Ethan, she smiled, bending down gently to take his small hand. Ethan, shy around new people, nodded softly. I'm your Aunt Jessica. It's so nice to finally meet you. I quietly pulled Jessica aside. You came back, that means you're stuck with me now, you know. Exactly, she laughed. I'm already in too deep. You have no idea how much I missed you. A month apart, and I was terrified Monica would lure you back. She's dangerous, Luca. I grinned and playfully brushed her nose. Never thought I'd see you jealous. Yes, I'm jealous, she admitted openly, laughing. So what if I have to be a stepmom? I've managed a massive company, how hard could raising one little boy be?